What is up, everyone? The Sterling Silver Variety Show coming at you, and I am excited to announce, as I announced 15 minutes ago, that I am officially coming back to YouTube. As things have slowed down a bit with life, and I'm feeling less stress, and I'm ready to get back on track with doing a lot more reaction videos than I've done in the past. I know I've got several other requests on the list, so I have not forgotten about those, and I assure you. So I will get to those as soon as I can. And I assure you that being on track as I am with YouTube, I will get to them, hopefully all of them around this week. So yeah, as I go, feel free to drop off any more requests, and I will get right to them. I also checked the last recording that I did, reaction video per se, and apparently there was a bit of a lag with the audio, and I do apologize for that. Apparently it was because I didn't have the mic set up properly, but I've got it fixed this time, so hopefully it works a bit better on this recording than I did last one. So, but yeah. This reaction, I'm going to do Angry Video Game Nerd's very first review that he ever did. This was actually recorded back way in 2004. Yeah, and that was around the time he started taping episodes, even before the time YouTube was around. You believe it? Where's the time gone? Yeah, this is Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest. One of Simon Belmont's big disappointments in Castlevania franchise, because being the franchise that it is, how good that it really is, especially for Simon Belmont's sake. This game was just a huge disappointment, and so without further ado, let's get started with the review.
This game sucks.
And a legend was
Castlevania
born.
1 and 3 are great classic Nintendo games, but for Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, the game designers obviously were not thinking straight.
No, they weren't.
At first, it seems like a pretty decent game.
Yeah,
a little different from the first in
graphics
the
look
series,
well.
but that's okay. Zelda 2 was different from the first, Mario 2 was different.
Yeah, I mean, it's designed like Zelda 2.
The first thing that's strikingly different is the fact that you have to go through towns, talk to people, and buy stuff.
Yeah.
I never really minded that. It makes it a little more like an adventure story, and it's kind of like Zelda 2. So that's okay. But the first problem comes in when it changes from day to night.
Oh my god, that's horrible. It's worse than Ocarina of Time.
Why does this need to happen so often?
Yeah, why does
like
it?
Every 5 minutes. Why does it take so long? Nobody feels like sitting through
Look
this
how
every
slow
time.
that text
How'd you
goes.
like it if you were playing a game and then every
that
5
to
minutes I
happen
came
so
over
often.
and paused it, then counted 10 tedious seconds and then let you continue to play the game? Now, I mean, why did they think that that would be a good idea and interrupt the gameplay?
Yeah, why did
they
they?
think it would be more realistic? I mean, in real life, I don't have to stop in my tracks when the sun sets and a fucking box doesn't pop up.
Yeah, imagine if that happened in real
life. This is
life.
one of the most annoying features in any game ever. What's the point?
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, the monsters are stronger at night and the stores are closed, but why is that necessary and why does the game have to stop? It's fucking retarded.
Oh,
why do you have to die when you fall in
Simon
the water?
Belmont,
That's the
are
stupidest
you
thing I've ever
fucking
seen. This
kidding
guy
me?
can go all over
You're
fighting
pussy.
hordes of evil monsters, but he can't even fucking swim?
Yeah, what kind? Seriously. That is ridiculous.
Sometimes I don't feel like going down the stairs just to get down to ground level. I mean, there's no reason I should have to do that when I can just take a shortcut and
think
jump
again.
down. But oops, I shouldn't do that. There might be water down
Water.
there. Another thing that's really annoying about this game is the fact that you have to buy weapons and items. I mean, still, it's not uncommon. You know, like I said, that's the same thing you have
but
to
it's
do
not
in many
money you
great
have to
games
use
like
it
Zelda.
for.
But let me explain. Here you have to collect hearts, which
Hearts.
count as money. I mean, that's kind of odd because usually hearts count as life or energy, you know. So that's kind of strange, but that's not
fucking
the
heart
point. The point is
as
that
money.
the items you need to buy are too fucking expensive, and the hearts don't add up enough. It takes too long to get enough of them to buy something, and it gets boring wandering around killing the same monsters over and over again just so you can buy a flame
I couldn't
whip or
even buy a
something.
single thing.
Speaking of flame whip, that's pretty weird itself, isn't it? I mean, they were really being creative with that one, the flame whip. Anyway,
Flame
about the
weapon.
hearts. It takes
Not as
too
bad as the
long
flame
to
weapon
buy
in Ghosts and
stuff,
Goblins.
and to add on to the problem, when you die, you lose all your hearts and you have to start all over again.
Ow.
I mean, doing this doesn't add to any of the game's difficulty or challenge, it just makes us have to do more of the same monotonous stuff over again, and it's not fun. It's boring. Oh look, I finally got enough hearts to go and buy a plant that I need to cross the swamp. Now let me get to the store. Oh shit, it's fucking nighttime. Now the stores are all closed
finally
and I have to wait for it to turn day again.
Does that.
Oh well, I might as well kill some zombies in the meantime and stock up on some more hearts.
Yeah, not
oh
green
shit,
enough time,
now I gotta start all
and
over
Majora's
again.
Mask. It goes a lot faster.
One of the worst things in the game are the pitfalls, which are areas where there's like stones or blocks that look like you could walk on them, but instead you just fall through. It's impossible to tell where these spots are the first time walking through, so you just have to keep throwing holy water all over to see where they are. It's retarded. Why should I have to do that? Again, it doesn't add up to any of the fun, challenge of the game.
Yeah, it just takes all the fun away.
It's annoying. In the dungeons, there's no bosses at the end, which is a big disappointment. Every Nintendo game still knows that at the end of a level or a dungeon, labyrinth, or whatever, there's always supposed to be a big guy who you fight. But here, they just got lazy and only put a few bosses in the game and left some of the dungeons just empty, like this one.
There's
so most
only
of the
a few
dungeons you
bosses
go through, the mansions to be exact, there's nothing at the end except for a crystal orb that you can't touch. In the rest of the Castlevania games, the tradition goes like this. You fight a boss, you defeat him, then an orb comes down, and you touch it. There you go, on to the next level. But in Castlevania 2, how would you ever figure out that you're supposed to throw an oak stake at that orb? I mean, when you first get the oak stake, you assume it's a weapon, and you throw it only to find that it does absolutely nothing, and that you waste it by throwing it, so you have to get it all over again.
My god, to get all those
There
hearts.
are parts in the game that are definitely not self-explanatory and are too hard to figure out. Take this dead end, for example. Would you guess that you're supposed to pass through this wall? How? You have to kneel down by it for like 10 seconds. Now still, that's not enough to make it so cryptic and hidden that we can't figure it out. Oh, please give us more for our buck and make it harder so we can wander around the whole game and exhaust every possibility before we find out. Okay.
Cliche.
Guess what? You need to have a red crystal selected and be kneeling down and wait a little while before this magic tornado comes and takes you to the next part of the game. How would anyone figure
all this crap out? What are they thinking?
Most of the townspeople have things to say which aren't important at all.
Yeah,
so
just
why
like
do you have
Zelda
to
2.
read them? Here in the dungeons, there's books that you may find which actually give you clues about things in the game that you may need to know about. But when I find these books half the time, it's by accident, so I may hit the button and cancel it out, which means that I don't even get to read it and I don't have a second chance. Why can't I do that when it changes from day to night? That would actually be helpful. So what the game designers figured is this. It isn't absolutely necessary for me to read about how to find Dracula's castle or what I'm supposed to do with an oak stake, but what I do need to read, again and again, constantly, is the morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. How about vanquish this horrible game? The only sure way to get through this awful game is to enter a code, but even that is way more tedious than it should be. While most of the Castlevania games have symbols you enter for a code, this one just has a whole bunch of numbers. I mean, like, one of those little parts would be enough for a password, but why 4? Like, why so many? In general, I hate games that have passwords like this because sometimes they have uppercase and lowercase letters. Like, the L's, look like I's, the zeros look like O's, the 8's look like 5's, so why does there have to be so many digits? Like, why can't it just be numbers or something? Like, just numbers and not letters. I mean, it takes me like 5 minutes to enter this code.
Well, there's obviously worse, like the LJN games. It's friggin'
stupid. Okay, so say we enter the code and we go to Dracula's castle. You'll be pretty disappointed how anticlimactic this game is. It isn't even worth putting in a code, let alone playing the whole game all the way through, which if you did, I feel bad for you. I mean, first of all, there's no enemies in Dracula's castle. You just walk all the way through, and the only obstacles are just like going up and down steps.
Well, they
which
did make
won't
some
hurt you, and they aren't challenging either. So they're just tedious. I mean, what the hell is the point of going through the castle if there's no way to fight? Did the game designers just like run out of time or something? So then you get up to Dracula, and guess what? He doesn't look anything like Dracula. Instead, he looks like a Grim Reaper, and he throws sickles. I mean, did the people who made this game even know what Dracula is?
Yeah,
The
seriously,
fucking
that
vampire. Alright, on top of everything, Dracula's way too easy. Check this out. This is a trick that I discovered myself, and so could you without the help of any strategy guide. When
did they
Dracula
even put
first
any effort
appears,
into
he
this
stands
game
there
at
for a
all
while, and he gives you
to make
plenty
it
of
this
time to
fucking
land
hard?
lots of free hits. Not only does
The
he stand
game's
there for a
cryptic and
long
hard, and
time,
yet they
but
make
everything
the
that hits him will
bosses so
stun him
damn
and give you
easy.
even more
That's
time.
pathetic.
Naturally, you'll probably be using the flames because it's one of the most effective weapons in the game, but using it against Dracula, it makes it simply impossible for him to even do anything. He has no
Yeah, it's like
chance.
he
The
looks a
second you
lot
start
different than
throwing
the
that shit
Dracula
at
from
him,
Hotel
you've already
Transylvania.
won. I mean, why is it that easy? Did they even test the shitty game out before
No,
they
they
released
didn't.
it? What a piece of shit.
Adam Sandler would be
I mean, I feel
flawless.
horrible that I had to play this game in order to make this video, but I
The
did
way
it
they
to
make
demonstrate its
Dracula.
dreadfulness, and I forced myself to play it just so that you don't
I
have
know it's
to.
not the
So you should thank me for
Dracula
telling
in
you to stay away
this
from this
kind of
horrible,
franchise, but you get
steaming
what I'm
pile
saying.
of goat shit. I
Although the
mean, I
confrontation
know
between
it's
Simon and
useless
Dracula
complaining about a game that was made back in the late 80s or earlier 90s or whatever, but it just blows
has
my mind how
concluded.
fucking horrible it is. I mean, it's consistently annoying. Why? Why is it so bad? If all
Simon
these
couldn't
problems were changed, then we'd have a great trilogy of classic Castlevania
survive
games,
his.
but history is history,
What?
and we might as well try to count Castlevania 3 as, the second in the series,
Yeah,
and
I
leave
would.
this awful piece of horseshit alone as it stands today as one of the biggest fuck-ups of all time.
Disappointed.
Thank you for listening. Good night. The ending sucks
Yeah, it
too.
does. So there you go, you guys. That was AVGN's Castlevania review. So yeah. So yeah, feel free to drop any more requests, and I will get to it soon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good night.